Hey y'all, Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Beautiful, beautiful day. Blue sky, no streaks. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, flanked on either side of this driveway by orchard over there, gardens. On this side, we got the high tunnel. If you'll notice, everything is within this zone. So where you can literally step out of whatever vehicle you're in, come over here, work in the high tunnel, work in these. Oh, wait, what do we got here? We got boxes. Okay, we're about to have a couple more. Let's talk about the reasons why. This is the reason that we're doing some expansion around here in terms of everything else we got going on. So why boxes? Well, we sell a lot of comfrey, and it's getting to the point, y'all. Let's just follow me over here for a second. Let me talk about the dilemma we have. Every time we dig up comfrey, we're disturbing something. That can be a bad and a good thing all at the same time, okay? So right here, you can see where this ground has been disturbed to harvest this comfrey, okay? Well, every time we do that, it's a double-edged sword. Obviously, we're able to harvest some of this comfrey responsibly, but we're also doing something in terms of the microbial life down in there. We want to disturb it as little as possible. So that brings us over to these guys. William and Michelle have been saying for the longest time, we need propagation beds. And I've been kind of resistant to it because of the nature of our property. It was never a good idea what we've come up with until they came up with this, which, by the way, is well within the zone right off the road on your way into the high tunnel, and it's easy to work with. And we're doing it in specially designed beds that will be used for pretty much comfrey, unless we decide to do some other things. Now, in the front of here, we're going to take a whole different dog to the hunt. You know, forgive the pun, the little puppy behind me. Michelle's little heathen over there. Anyway, she's a good puppy. But what we've done so far is that we've created these boxes. William did the shosugi ban, or as they say in Japan, shosugi ban, which is basically burning the outside of it, brings the oils. Look, we've been doing this for a long, long time, and it's worked fabulously for us in so many different places. Now, in addition to that, let's walk down to this box here. If you'll look on the side of here, what I want to point out, you're dealing with curved surfaces. So I'm asking myself, now this isn't what I should be doing right now because William just broad forked all of this. When you have curved surfaces, you got to ask yourself, okay, what looks best? In this case, squaring up these boxes on the high tunnel itself is the best way to go about it. So it looks a little cockeyed in terms of the road, and of course Michelle's yelling after her puppy as it's running down the road there.
She's tough.
Yeah. So here's, hey, look who just emerged. Yeah. She can, look y'all, let me just tell you something real. She can be dead dog tired. Let that dog make the slightest whimper, and guess who's jumping out of bed waking me up to go find out what's ailing this dog.
I don't wake. He doesn't even wake up. He doesn't even know.
You got that right. Well, I wake up, but we'll let Ellie Mae get back to what she's doing, and we'll drive on. So anyway, we got these boxes, and they're in line with this. Now, we got a little bit of earthworks that needs to happen here. We're going to eventually come out, dig out all of this, make something of a pretty good path, but we're going to put boxes on each side of the ones you see. So the cool thing with all of this, not only do we get a propagation bed, it's well within the zone, within the watering systems that we have, and it's also going to solve the problem of having to constantly disturb areas that we want to leave undisturbed. Because the more we do that, and every time you plow, anytime you do any of those things, the microbes in that soil are not liking it. In fact, you're killing them. Okay, so we got another box built. There's going to be one on the other side of that. They're going to work on that one because I got something else I got to do. So William and Michelle will knock that out. Okay, here's what's going to happen next. We're going to hit these little posts in here with a little bit of Shosugi bond. Then we're going to come down here. William has already come through and broad forked. The broad fork's over there. He basically broad forked the inside of these boxes, which is only going to help. Okay, now when that's all said and done, we're going to basically run cardboard, probably 3 thick, all the way up the side of this thing. Then we're going to fill it up with topsoil. Okay, now that we got in town, it just made better sense. It's easier. Is it wonderful quality? No, but we're growing comfrey in here, and it doesn't need wonderful quality. That's one of its great virtues. And in time, you know, the soil will improve. Sorry about the noise in the background. They know we're filming, so it happens every time. Okay, so that'll happen. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and get that last box built down there, line this thing with cardboard, and then it's off to the races. All right, so it's day 3, and William basically constructed all these boxes. We helped kind of level them up for a little bit. Next thing, put a bunch of cardboard in the bottom of it. After, what did you do? What did he? Yeah.
He broad forked it, and then we heavily layered actually, like 3 layers of thick cardboard.
Yeah, a lot of it down there. So broad fork, cardboard, and then now it's nothing more than just some off-the-shelf topsoil.
Yeah, and he watered the cardboard also.
Right, so I can already tell you, we don't even have to test this stuff. There ain't a whole lot of structure in it. It's not wonderful, but hey, you got to consider what we're putting in it. We're putting in something that does extraordinarily well in those kinds of conditions. And we're going to give it every opportunity to go down because some of these beds are actually quite deep. Now, we still got rubbish laying around here that I'll get to in a little bit, but it's more important that we go on to the next step. So what did you guys do this morning? You harvested a bunch of comfrey, right?
Yes, so we have a bunch of crowns left over that we need to get planted in the beds.
All right, so that's exactly where we're going to pick it up. So we got the crowns in here. I don't believe we caught that. These are basically the crowns sticking up in here. We're doing a few experiments in terms of a number of other things. But look, we got all these leaves. Yeah, we use them for everything. Our animals eat it like it's going out of style, especially this time of year. But it is also a fantastic mulch. And if you ever feel comfrey, it almost feels tacky on the side. So when you lay it down as a mulch, it is absolutely fantastic in terms of staying in place. So we do it on all the orchard trees you see over here and everywhere else. This is our go-to, and that's part of the reason why it's in such close proximity to the trees, because as it breaks down, it's fantastic worm food, and plus all the stuff that it bioaccumulated up in these leaves is now in here for the benefit of everything else. So it's going to turn brown and it's going to become slimy. But that's one of the wonderful virtues of this magnificent plant. That's why we're planting it like crazy. All right, that's a wrap. So the only bed you can't see in your frame is the one William's sitting on filming right now. But here it is. I mean, like I said, this stuff always has a tacky kind of surface to it. And so we'll just go ahead. We've already watered it before we put it down, and then we'll water it again. And you'll find out that when you use this stuff as a mulch, it generally stays put, even when the wind is really tough. Even when you're thinking, okay, it's dried out and it's going to fly away, it really doesn't. It always stays put. and these little hairs on the back of it just kind of interlock in place. So it's fantastic. So at this point, let's think about what we did. Basically got a bunch of wood, did the Shosugi bond on it, put some wood in, or rather some cardboard in the bottom of it. Got some soil. This isn't anything we had here. It was something we had to buy off the shelf, just some regular topsoil. It doesn't look great. It's not wonderful, but that's exactly the conditions Comfrey will do exactly just fine in. But the benefit to us is that instead of out there disturbing, like we always do, the things in our orchards and food forests, we wonder how much further ahead it can go if we're not in there messing with it every day. So, Michelle, what are we looking at this point? I mean, how are things going to unfold? Just water every day?
Yeah, we're just going to water it. I'll just water it when I water the high tunnel, and we'll just see how well it grows.
And then after a while, y'all, it won't even matter. We won't even have to mess with this after a while because, like Comfrey normally does, it's going to shade this entire bed. So it will require, in time, not long from now, if it grows like everything else around here, it's not going to take long at all before it really doesn't involve any watering outside of what generally falls from the sky. So, y'all, in this time where we have uncertain everything out there, maybe things like this are what you want to do, even in your front yard. Is it more productive than a lawn? Yeah. So maybe think about these options and all these other different ways you can be growing food, whether it be a high tunnel, a regular greenhouse, on the side of your house, I mean a lean-to. It doesn't even matter, y'all. Every single possible way you can grow food these days.
Containers.
Yeah, every single way you can. Think about it, the guerrilla gardening, all these things we've covered in great detail, and we talk about a lot of it also in our podcast called the Permaculture Pimpcast, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion. And speaking of which, if you need any of this Comfrey we're talking about, yeah, just check us out down at the website. Bone Sauce, world's best deer repellent, we got it there. Harvest Right freeze dryers, Heaven's Harvest seeds, you name it, it's all listed down below. Until next time, this is Billy, along with the Homestead Honey from Perma Pastures Farm, where permaculture is my passion. We'll see y'all next time.